Elliot, what's kind of like being one of the elder statesmen of the defensive line?
It's different for sure, because I remember when I came in, we had a lot of seniors, and it's kind of flipped itself on its head now, and I kind of found myself having to learn how to be a leader really quickly.
What's the fact that you have a big opportunity? Obviously being a veteran, having so many of those guys in the interior graduate, that is a big opportunity for you. What's that kind of like, kind of motivating for you here in the spring?
It's definitely motivation, because obviously this is my 5th year now. I've worked really hard to get to the point where I'm at. And to be honest with you, I don't really focus on myself as much. My biggest kind of concern and goal this off-season is to get the younger guys up to speed and get them ready to go, because the first line of defence can be as good as you want, but if those guys behind you aren't up to scratch, then it doesn't mean anything for us. So really they're the focus, to be honest with you.
You talked about working yourself into this position. So how eager are you? You said it's been 5 years to maybe get a lot of snaps and stuff like that. Maybe consistently. How eager are you for that possibility?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you work as hard as we do in the off season and do the stuff we go through in the kind of mat drills and conditioning, you want to be able to kind of have something to show for it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to go ahead and play as many snaps as I can this year.
I was ask you a question about Lyle Smith and what today means to you. You see the bookends of Boise State football on the field today. Lyle's the very beginning, and guys like you are part of the present. So, what does today mean to you? And seeing a guy like Lyle make the effort to come out here on his 100th birthday.
I think it's huge. Really, kind of goes back to him. The fact that he's 100 years old and he still has his mind as good as he probably was however many 20, 30 years ago. I think it's important for us, because it kind of shows that there is an end, and someone that was probably one of the best coaches in Boise State history still cares about us. It kind of shows that there is, after football, it still goes on. Like, this is a brotherhood. It doesn't matter whether you're 18 coming in 17 or 100 at the end. This really is kind of everyone's home. Everyone comes back here in the end.
Where's going to be your biggest growth? I guess even the spring, going into the fall, to try to improve and try to be able to get those snaps regularly.
I think I always say it, and it's consistency. That's really the theme of the D line, is just being consistent. You have to be able to be relied on, and as long as you can be relied on, you're going to play. Coach Cobble needs to see that he's got those guys in place that are going to snap after snap, are going to line up, run to the ball, get their assignment, and not bust, and just be on top of things.
What's kind of the attitude of your group? With people noticing, so many guys graduated and so many maybe unknowns, I guess. Yeah. There, what's kind of the attitude like?
The theme for spring for us is effort with technique, because when it comes down to it, we talk about effort, and effort is between you and you. And as long as you're giving your 100% effort, that's all you can ask, and the technique will come. So yeah, effort with technique's really been the theme. We're just focusing on getting better every single time we come out here.
You talked about the importance of developing depth on the defensive line. How different is it this year than it maybe was last year, when you guys could rotate in three different lines and you stay fresh? How different is it taking reps this year? Do you take more of them?
I think it's going to be the same kind of rotation. It's just a case of getting the guys up to speed, that are behind you. It's important, obviously, we get them up to speed. And I was saying that the biggest thing isn't really on the field, because that's what we do. I was saying before that you kind of miss those characters as people, because obviously everyone that comes in, everyone's a different character. And we kind of lost 7 guys that were huge characters, and that's the biggest thing. It's on the field. We just do football. That's what we do. So we don't really. It doesn't concern me at all. It's just off the field. You kind of miss those guys, and it's cool to see the younger guys come out of their shells, and you kind of really see their character now.
As Dave said, you're kind of the elder statesman these days. Does your mindset change?
I don't think it really does as far as football. It's just, I remember Faraji Wright, who was here probably 4 or 5 years ago now, which makes me feel really old. I remember he said to us, he addressed us in our senior talk, he said, the days and weeks go slow, but the months and years go fast. And that's really been my kind of mantra the whole way through my career. Ever since he said that, I think it was the 1st August I was here. And you just take things day by day. I don't think the mindset really changes. The focus changes, and the fact that I have to be more of a leader and kind of a coach on the field, because I want to kind of get the young guys up to speed. But I just think it's a case of taking it day by day, and that's always been the way I've handled it. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm still here and still having the opportunity to grow every day.
Who are some of those younger guys that you're working with right now on the inside?
We got Matt Locker, Louis. We got Austin Silsby. Austin's been around for a while, which people don't always remember. We got a bunch of guys really. I wouldn't say it's just the inside guys. I think having been around, I've played a lot of defensive end as well over the time. I've played all across the front, apart from the stud position. It's all those young guys really. I can single out any particular one that I'm working with. It kind of goes across the board, and you kind of help those guys out with basic techniques, whether they're playing end, outside nose. It all crosses over.
You and Sam both, they're the 2 oldest guys on that line. You both have kind of played multiple spots. that helpful, for you guys, especially kind of knowing basically everything about the line?
Yeah, 100. Well, I won't say I know everything about the line. There's a lot to learn still, a lot. But yeah, in the system, at least having played all three like hand down positions, it definitely helps as far as rotations are concerned. There may be times in the field where you might get a little bit messed up in alignments, and myself, David Mower, obviously David's played a lot more than people realise. Myself, David, and Sam, we could pretty much line up in any of those kind of three hand down positions and play no problem, which is obviously a benefit.
Building off what the question Dave just asked you, you've been a guy that's had to fight for playing time throughout your career. Now you're in a position where it looks like you're going to get quite a bit of it. But does having that experience help you relate to maybe some of the younger guys that you need to step up and need to grow?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Bob that obviously I didn't start playing football until I was 16, 17. I played rugby my whole life. I knew about football, but not enough to kind of be dominant at this level when I came in the spring. So I always tell those guys, like, look, basically, if I could come in and play football and have little to no experience at all with the game, I'm pretty sure you guys have been playing for a long time can do it, and might even be able to do it better, But that's kind of what I tell them. I just say, hey, look, this is my story. If I can do it, you guys got all the tools and the skills to do it as well.